Thank you so much, Michelle. Well, what we understand is that Mr. Sizwe Kupelo made an application for a vacant communications officer at the Premier's office back in 2021, at the end of 2021, applying for duties that will resume in 2022. So he did get that post. He was hired as the communications officer at the office of the Premier. And then in 2002, later that year, he then was appointed as the Deputy Director of the Department of Health within the Communications Department there. That's where he led and served in that communications unit for that period until 2007, where now Siyanda Manana, who is the current director of the Communications Department, joined in, now making Sizwe Kupelo a deputy and reporting to Siyanda Manana, who is, by the way, the key witness in this case. I'm saying that because he was the one who allegedly blown the whistle into this whole issue of the fraudulent certificate. When now does this emerge? In 2020, the Department of Health now does an audit on their qualifications on the staff, where they were all required to bring forth their qualifications so that they can be verification checks to see if they are indeed qualified and are capable to hold the positions that they were in the department at the time. Now, it emerged that Mr. Sizwe Kupelo only had a matric certificate in his name, which, by the way, is in question. What followed then after that, Michelle, was the questioning of the eligibility of that matric certificate, because the key witness, Siyanda Manana, did say he got a tip-off in 2021 to say, look into that certificate, because he said when he was doing that verification check, he did not suspect anything untoward with that certificate. So investigations were done, Michelle. The certificate was taken to the Department of Education, which then later was taken to Umalusi. Report investigation of the investigation came back to say that certificate is in fact fraudulent, and Mr. Sizwe Kupelo does not possess any matric certificate. Now, what transpired in court, Michelle, was that the certificate that Mr. Sizwe Kupelo allegedly forged, in fact, belonged to someone else, Ingajyanki, who is now in Mthatha, working there as a nurse. Mr. Ingajyanki, we've heard his submission, his affidavit today that was submitted by prosecutor Pamandla Ngqokolo. That affidavit, Michelle, we've heard that Mr. Ingajyanki said he does not know how Mr. Kupelo was in possession of that certificate. He said he don't know because he never lost his certificate. He never even borrowed someone his certificate. It was always with him. And then he says that, yes, he does know him because they studied together at Kangato Primary School in Libote. But then that was it because he moved from Kangato to Chief Henry Bokleni in Libote. That is the high school that Mr. Ingajyanki started in, and gained that matric certificate in 1994. He does not know after that where did Mr. Kupelo go, but we do understand that Mr. Yanki then pursued a nursing diploma. After that, he does say that he has been in contact with Mr. Sizwe Kupelo, just that there was no communication about his matric certificate. He knows him, he's been in contact with him even after he was made aware by Captain Ekuayo of the alleged forged certificate. So he said through that affidavit that he was shocked to see that all the marks and all the subjects that were there were similar to that of his, and even the serial number of that certificate that Mr. Kupelo used is very similar to what was in possession of Mr. Ingajyanki. That was the affidavit that was brought before the court by prosecutor Pamandla Ngqokolo. What then followed, Michelle, was Mr. Witness Masile Lobese, who is 57 years of age, gave his testimony virtually because he is in Gqeberha. He was one of the applicants who submitted his document at the department at the time. So he lost out to Mr. Sizwe Kupelo, as he was the one who was hired for that position. Came in a second witness, Michelle, who is now Olisi Albert Dokota, who went at the office at the time as an HR personal officer. He oversaw or collected those documents, written them down, and forwarded them to the panel that was heading that process of hiring the communications officer at the time at the office of the Premier. He does say that he saw the certificate of Mr. Sizwe Kupelo. Now, this is in contrast to what the defense attorney said, that Mr. Sizwe Kupelo never submitted any matric certificate at the time because it was not required. But what we know is that the qualifications that were required for that position is a 3-year bachelor degree or a diploma and 3 years of experience in media and liaison. So what we are getting actually now is that Mr. Kupelo says he did not submit matric qualification, but the one that was responsible for shortlisting him says there was a requirement and there was a matric certificate from Mr. Sizwe Kupelo. So we're still waiting to hear from him. He's coming back after lunch to conclude his testimony, and there will be more witnesses coming, as the state says they've got 7 witnesses lined up. Michelle.
Yeah, the state also saying that the provincial government suffered a prejudice amounting to over 18 million rand as a result of this alleged invalid matric certificate. Yamkela and Mtshiyo is live to us. They're covering that story.